Hey everyone, thanks for tuning into this episode of Lively Charleston. Our goal with the show is to interact and engage with the people, places, and businesses that make our city the best in the world.
On today's episode, we'll be checking out 3 of Charleston's oldest churches. Our first church on the list is St. Phillips Episcopal, located at 142 Church Street. This is the 3rd building for the congregation and was built between 1835 and 1838 by architect Joseph Hyde. The steeple was added 10 years later and was designed by E.B. White, the author of the famous children's books Stuart Little and Charlotte's Web. St. Philip's Cemetery, adjacent to the church, has prominent people buried there, including several colonial governors, 5 Episcopal bishops, and a former Vice President of the United States. The view from Church Street, punctuated by St. Philip's, remains one of Charleston's most photographed spots. The notable features of St. Philip's are the 3 Tuscan porticos and the Roman columns.
The second church on our list is St. Michaels Episcopal, which sits on the corner of Meeting and Broad Street. The oldest church in Charleston, it was completed in 1761 and was actually formerly the location of the St. Philip's Episcopal congregation for the previous 70 years before it was torn down and rebuilt. The church has had famous attendees such as George Washington and Robert E. Lee. It survived hurricanes, fires, wars, and earthquakes, and each time has been carefully reconstructed. St. Michael's continues to be a major city landmark, receiving landmark status back in 1961.
Our look at 3 of Charleston's oldest churches finishes with St. Matthew's Lutheran Church. St. Matthew's sits on the corner of King and Vanderhorst Street and was built in 1872 when German-speaking Lutherans outgrew their original church. This Gothic-style revival church was designed by local Charleston architect John Henry Devereaux. The 297-foot steeple once made it the tallest building in South Carolina, and it continues to have the highest spire. In 1965, a fire destroyed much of the interior of the church. An interesting fact, the steeple ended up falling and crashing into King Street and burying itself 15 feet into the ground. An effort was made to remove the steeple, however, it was so heavy it almost tipped over the crane. It remains buried to this day next to the front door. Original features include the stained glass windows in the apse and under the balcony. Notable features include the black and white checkered walkway that leads up to the big red door into the church.
All right, that's all we've got for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Also, if you want to be notified every time we release a new video, click that little bell icon. Hope you guys have an awesome day.
Yeah, okay.
Nice rolling, man.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Our first church on the list is Sorry guys. 3, 2, 1. Our first church on the list is St. Louis Episcopal. I was doing great down there.
You got it.
All right.